Alrighty. Hello, everyone. I missed a lot of casts last week that I had scheduled, and so I'm just going to make up what I can today, and then I'm going to kill the format entirely. I am here solo for right now. I may have somebody joining me later, but for right now, gonna do some solo casting, which hopefully won't kill me. I think there's a chance I actually may die. But with that said, in the bottom left, spawning as the Blue Terran, it's Brad. And in the top right, spawning for D-Life, it is Robotic. And to answer your question, Boo, the real question is not how many games. The real question is, am I going to survive the 40-minute game that's coming up? Hopefully I will. But if I don't, at least I'll die on live stream, and that's what's important. So yeah, Brad, formerly Monstrosity GNR, of GNR rather, spelled in cancer, as Ice once said on my favorite Chobo Weekly of all time. Terran player, pretty good player. I'm really sorry I missed his cast. He's the main reason I made sure to come back to the request cast, but that's that. I don't actually know a ton about Robotic. He's a Zerg player, so that means he's not like the worst person in the world, unlike, Terran players. But I don't know the most about him, so hopefully he will entertain. I have some danger pings from some player. Some player was very scared. I actually don't know if it shows which player that was in the replay. If it was Robotic, but he is very terrified of that SCV, telling everyone to retreat. Like everyone to be fearful. So yeah, not a whole lot going on right now. It looks like it's mostly just standard play from both players. I heard a Reaper. Where'd that guy get off to? There he is. Let's follow him. This is the unfortunate problem where I basically have to stall for time a little bit. So let's go ahead. So, when it comes to TVZ, this matchup's really weird because at like the super high level... Oh, that Reaper actually getting trapped. Very nicely done by Robotic. Between the mineral fields and the Zerglings, like that's almost like... I don't want to say lucky, but like that's very fortunate. So TVZ is a really weird matchup because if it's at a super high level... It's like back and forth crazy ass action, and if it's at super like this level, it's kind of just who fucks up less in some regards. Because the Terran player can hit like massive marine shots, or like kill like 30 workers with like one drop, and then like 2 banelings kill their entire army. Nice little bit of Ling harass here. Gets an SCV. Not a whole lot to do with these 4-lings at the beginning of the game anyway, so. I might actually get 2 SCVs. No, not quite. So nice little, probably not worth it overall, but this Overlord is the elephant in the room right now as he awkwardly flies away. He will not be living much longer. If you are joining us and you're looking forward to the Born Gosu vs. Daily Life cast, that's coming up. Just come back in like 20 minutes if you don't give a crap about these. But you should give a crap about these. Come on. This is your fellow CTL players, guys. But I won't hold it against you if you don't. I understand. So we have the Baneling Nest Roach Warren. Usually not a building combo you see built together that often. He may just be getting the roaches. He might think this is double stem drop, which I believe it actually is. Yep. Looks to be double stem drop, so Roach is pretty good way of defending against that if you really want to go that route, but Baneling's usually the much better way. So, I don't know. We will see what Robotics got planned. Right now, no third just yet for Brad. We do have a third down for Robotic. So yeah, I think it'll come down to basically how much damage this double stem drop will actually do. Because if this does a lot of damage, like I said, this matchup's a little weird in that at low levels. You know, these drops can do a ton of damage and basically game-ending damage, even if you like defend them to the best of your ability. Because the best of your abilities ain't that good yet. There's the drop. I caught it on the way out, thankfully. It is one Marine short. This is the 15 packs of drops. This is like when you buy a beer, or when your friends buy you beer for helping them move, and like it's missing one because they wanted one. It's just the worst. Alright, well, these medevacs will fly right by an Overlord, so if Robotic's paying attention, he should see this and deal with this. Especially because it's basically just hanging off creep. We do see 2 Spore Crawlers as well as 8 Roaches being made, so... We should... I don't think this will do damage, especially if the Roaches are already out. Yeah, he's going to stim forward. He's going to shoot away at these Roaches. He's actually going to fight them with the medevacs, and these Roaches are getting killed, but like this Marine count is getting thinned out enough. Yeah, Stim going down, he's starting to lose that critical mass of Marines. And he's just going to be forced back by the Queens. It's going to try to go to this third, where there actually isn't any creep sped, but there's also really nothing to deal damage to. It's kind of just a hatchery. So Brad will just drive away with his losses. I mean, he does force out a lot of Roaches, which could be drones, so it's not like it's the worst thing, but not an ideal amount of damage there. So yeah, it'll basically just come down to what the transition is at this point. It looks like we're going to see like Zerg, Bane, Ravager, which is a combination that I haven't seen really in a while. Meanwhile, Brad, I'm going to do that standard Terran thing, which is just kill shit with your tier 1 units and then some medevacs. Let's take a quick sip of water. Alright. Brad will stim under this Overlord, take it out. Bad day for Overlords on the Terran side of the map. You know, when it comes to TVZ on this map, like, it's... I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this map in general. This map's weird. I don't like how it's all... This is like a Lego map. Like, it's all put together very... not intricately, but, oh, what's the damn word I'm looking for? This map is put together very precisely. It's very, like, click-clacked together, it feels like. Right, so 2 Overseers will be ready just in case any sudden Banshees fly over, or for scouting, one of those 2. Yeah, we basically just calmed down at this point. Brad does have the upgrade lead for now, but it actually looks like we're going to see Roach Hydra from Robotic, which is a combination that is either good or completely garbage in ZVT, depending on who you talk to. I don't like it at all. I know I have Zerg player friends who swear by it. So we'll see how this works. I mean, this is, yeah, this was the plat set, so we will see how it pays off for these players. We do have this move out now from Brad as he will push across the map. And I'll take one more quick sip of water. Alright, so Brad is here. He will meet this drone who is just going to walk up this ramp and get absolutely murdered. Stims will take out Creep. What is there really to defend? There's a nice Roach Hydra Ravager force, but I don't know if it's going to be enough to take out this Bioforce. He is stimming onto the Creep, shooting away at these units, dodging the Ravager Biles that do exist. And like these Roaches and Ravagers are starting to eventually kill all of these units. Going to shoot away at these medevacs. He's got to be careful not to lose them, and does just that. Very well saved by Brad. And while I agree, Furkrag, that Hydraling Bane is very good versus T, this is more Roach Ravager Hydra, which I think is arguably good against T, depending on how it it depends on the skill levels of both players when you say that, I suppose, but But we do see Brad's attack was not successful, but he does stop the fourth from going down at this location, as well as slow down the creep spread, which he didn't really slow down that much, but it's something, right? Now we see the double sensor tower for double safety. It's like wearing 2 condoms, you know, you never can be too sure. And yeah, it looks like Brad is getting a 4th CC, which he will then lift off to some foreign location. Did I hear a stim? Alright, nice stim. Really takes off a lot of the health on his units. And yeah, it looks like we'll just see kind of like a rebuild and just a move out again, which I think is the right idea. You know, he is up on upgrade. Well, he's even on, now he's up on upgrade. See, I knew it was coming. I just didn't know when. Well, there were a production tab to tell me. So he's up on upgrades. You know, his opponent's comp is kind of, you know, not low tech, but it is very tier 1-2 units. He's going to take out that one Hydra. But there's actually a lot of Ravagers here. Stimming forward, he's kind of overstimmed, actually. He's really got to watch all the health of these units as they kind of just get sped at by the Ravagers. No bios going out just yet. Kind of a bit of a mistake, especially on those tanks, which are just sitting back there doing a ton of damage to this army. He is eventually going to clean up all the bio, and which means this Liberator should also die, and these tanks should also die. So he's going to have to try to save what medevacs he can, but again, he is trading out, frankly, some pretty expensive gas amounts of units for the relatively cheap bio. I mean, he gets a Liberator and 2 tanks, but that's not... that ain't nothing. So, this push actually could do a good bit of damage, though. I mean, this tank is not sieged up. These Lings will stream on in here. What is there really here to defend from Brad? There is a good amount of bio. I actually really don't like this push out. He's going to be fighting under a Liberator and fighting with really a small amount of forces. And yeah, as the bio stem forward, just absolutely literal bloodbath. Literally blood everywhere. There are some extra Lings streaming in here, and these are what we call freebies, because they're kind of just here in case you wanted some more Lings to kill. In case there was not enough blood. There is now an actual amount of blood. So now we do see the 4th being established for Robotic, as well as for Brad. And we also see a Hive going down finally, so it'll be interesting to see which tech path he goes. This is kind of the problem with going Roach Hydra ever, is that you want to get ranged upgrades, but also none of the tier 3 for Zerg uses ranged upgrades. So it's a mixed bag, you know? If you get the ranged upgrades, you know, it's all fine and dandy up until, what do I do after Roach Hydra? Well, stuff that wants melee upgrades mostly. It's not that Broodlords are the worst without melee upgrades, but they're not the best. They really don't mind having them. I mean, meanwhile, from Brad's side, we just see basically, like, complete tech paths. We have tanks, which are 1-0 tanks right now. We have 3-2 bio, soon to be 3-3 bio, like, very soon. Meanwhile, since there's no Hive for Robotic, he actually doesn't even have his 3-3 started yet. These Marines, basically just in a mosh pit. This is the... Alright, well, they've decided to leave the mosh pit. It's gotten a little boring in there. I guess we'll just move on. And now we're getting battle cruisers and Yamato cannon. Okay, well, what the fuck ever. What do I know about StarCraft? You do what you want, Brad. You know what? You do you, man. If you want to go battle cruisers all of a sudden, like, I was expecting a nice solid bio push with some tanks, some Liberators, and fuck it. You know what? And some battle cruisers. That's fine. I understand. I'd do it too. If I could play Terran, that is. But for a multitude of reasons, I can't play Terran. Most of them conscience related. Most of them that I'm bad related. So he's stimming, or not stimming, he's scanning, looking for bases. There's one in a very obvious location. However, there's also a rather large Roach Hydra Bane force here. He is getting a decent amount of workers, but as soon as Robotic kind of realizes this, yeah, this is not going to go too well. Does lose 1 medevac full of units as well as 4 Marines. So 12 Marines for a couple of drones, not the best trade. Especially when you're already up 20 workers, frankly. But here we go. These Lings are going to find this Bio Army. Immediate siege up from that Liberator on the ramp. Tanks are sieged up. This is not a good position for Robotic. He really needs to back out of here. There isn't any battlecruisers here yet for Brad, but it's not like he's really needing them. Just stimming forward, kind of just clearing out every single army unit that Robotic has left, and immediate leave. That game is over. He is done. We are done. No battlecruisers for you. No fun for anybody. And welcome to the Marathon Cast. And now for the fun part, where we get to see which replay StarCraft will make me log back in for. Oh boy! Now for the fun part, where I go get my keys. For those of you wondering, I do in fact have the old school Blizzard authenticator they made back in like 2005 or 2006. Bought it for World of Warcraft and I'm still using it literally decades later. Decade and a half later, I guess? Whatever. Whatever. Alright, our next request comes to us from the Wizard of Oz, which, if he is not Australian, this name is infinitely more confusing. A little bit of a Born Gosu vs. D-Life preview, considering we had a D-Life player last game, now we have a Born Gosu player this game. Alright, and we are here on Blood Boil, spawning in the bottom right. It is one of Team Liquid's most famed contributors, and one of Team UR's stronger players. It is Seeker. And in the top left, sitting here on Blood Boil, we'll get back to that in a minute, it is the orange Protoss from Born Gosu. It is Wizard of Oz. So, my favorite part about Blood Boil is everyone's opinion on this map, for the most part, went from whatever, I guess I'll just veto it, to, man, Pig told me I fucking hate this map, and I kind of agree. And I'm not saying that everyone's following everyone else, and I'm not saying, like, you know, oh, everyone's just following what Pig says. I'm just saying that Pig made them realize just how much they hated this map. Because goddamn, I hate this map on a lot of levels. But in some ways, I love it. Mainly because of ice. So if you are around ice, you're probably asleep because it's probably like, I don't know, like 15 o'clock or some shit. I don't know Aussie time. But I'm assuming you're asleep. But if you're here, thank you. I just go Zealots on this map and just do stupid shit. So this map, it's got some fun Protoss features. My first favorite Protoss feature is you really can't take 6 gas ever. Like, you have to take 5 gas if you want to play super safe. Now, if you want to take this gold base, you can. And then you can go charge slots like Ice does, and like I do now. Or if you're a Zerg player, you can just take the gold base whenever you fucking feel like. And just do whatever you want. You know, or, as you know, if you're a Protoss player, you can take this base and just be down a gas for most of the game until you take a fast third. And if you don't take a fast third, then you're just down a gas for the first couple of minutes of the game where that matters. So that's fun. Meanwhile, if you're Zerg, who gives a shit? You don't need 4 gas right away. And if you do, you just take this base. So this map's fun for Protoss. I'm glad I race switched to Protoss and then this map came into existence. Yeah, unfortunately for Seeker, there's no base to engineering bay block. He may patrol all he wants. This Reaper will come in here and see the Stargate. So very nice scout from this Reaper. We'll throw the grenade, which is just annoying. My favorite part about the Reaper grenade is like when it just bounces some workers away and then that's it. Really doesn't do a whole lot. It's like, well, yeah, well, fuck you. Go over there for a bit. Seeker does scout the Stargate, so he should be ready for the Oracle. We already see the Widow Mine in production, ready to head to its location to defend against all of its shenaniganry. Yeah, PvT is a weird matchup because it's like, I'm going to make an Oracle, and if you don't defend the Oracle, you're going to die. Okay, well, I'll just defend the Oracle. Alright. I will notice you, Marine King LMG. I have no idea who you are, because I feel like you may be one of those players I was complaining about in chat last Chobo Weekly, where your name is different on, like, StarCraft and Twitch. Or you might be the Cancer that has them different on, like, 50 different channels. Where it's like, oh, my Discord name's not the same either. Look at me. I'm a piece of shit. But hello, I notice you. If you want to tell me your CTL name, I will remember you and not call you a piece of shit directly again. Alright, so we do have 3 Adepts and the Oracles right outside this base. There is a missile turret that is going to go up. However, 3 Adepts are very good against missile turrets because they don't actually... missile turrets don't shoot Adepts. That's why Adepts are the most broken unit in the game. Oh, you're a Marine. I should have guessed that, I guess. Because, you know, Marine is in your Twitch name. I mean, kind of a loose connection. Alright, well, this medevac is going to go out for a mine drop. However, it's going to fly right into this Phoenix. And Phoenix has really got to boost this like back to his base as soon as he can. Actually, we'll unload the mines. Another great option. I suppose that is an option. Gets the Revelation off. So this mine drop will unfortunately do absolutely nothing. But, you know, it's... At least Seeker didn't lose the medevac full of everything. And yeah, as we see, you just have to make Zealots on this map. You have to get the charge, you get the +1 attack, and you just make Zealots. You just make a lot of Zealots. I'm glad Zealots are back, man. I am a Wings of Liberty Protoss player originally. I was a Wings of Liberty Terran player because we all were when we first played StarCraft. Because nobody wants to play the disgusting bug people or the weird-ass blue people. And then I was a Protoss player. And then MC1 GSL3. And everyone said, Protoss is OP, force fields are ridiculous. How is this ability even in a game, bad game design? And then, you know, I'm like, alright, well, whatever. I'll switch to Zerg. And then, like, Nestea wins his second, you know, like, wins GSL. And it's like, Zerg's so OP, you just make Banelings and roll into everything and everything dies. How are you supposed to beat it? And it's like, fucking whatever, man. So, like, I kept race switching into OP shit on accident back in the Wings of Liberty. But as I was saying, as a Wings of Liberty player, man, I want to see... I just like seeing Zealots. They're Adepts, but they're fun. Alright, well, this is unfortunate for Seeker, because he's actually going to fly right into this Force of Death that's looking for this mine drop. He's going to try to make it out over land, but there's no land to make it out over just yet. We even have a little probe over here. Maybe a misrally, maybe a base. Who knows? Maybe he just wants to hang out. I mean, this is a very pretty map. Plenty of room for sightseeing. We've got some great red trees. We've got some great snow. We've got some great mineral clusters. You know, all great features. All joking aside, the one thing I really love about this map is just like the snow textures on the buildings. It's just, it looks so nice. I don't know why I love it so much. It's just, oh, it's beautiful. Alright, so these Phoenixes and Oracles are just flying around, looking to be annoying. Getting off the Revelation, looking for drops. Basically just containing Seekers so Wizard of Oz can get his economy really up and going. But it's not contained if Seeker does not give a shit and just pushes out anyway. So, Wizard of Oz will have to defend this. I think he's more than well equipped to. He does have a good army, and he does have a good worker count. Lots of Zealots with charge. And you know, everyone says Protoss needs area damage. Don't forget, Zealots are area damage with charge, technically. By the most technical of terms. Alright, so this one Marine will stem forward looking for friends. He will find many friends in this welcoming community of death. And we should see another revelation on top of all these units, as we do. And we do have a warp prism flying along the right side of the map with 4 zealots with charge in it. Very annoying. So we will see how that plays out right now. So this warp prism will start unloading all 4 zealots and then is queued to just get the hell out of there. So that will force a reaction from Seeker. There's actually also a fight going on. We see a stem forward, or rather just a charge forward into these tanks. These tanks are forced... Very nice pickup from Seeker to save this tank. But he is forced to run away from these now very, very fast zealots, which people really underrate how fast these zealots are. You kind of have to stem just to run away from them, and even then, like, you just see like these annoying repeated charges over and over and over again. I would really like to see the Phoenixes come in here, because I know they're around here somewhere. Meanwhile, in the back of the base, more and more zealots being warped in. This is a brutal... This is no bueno for those fans of the MCAN. This is what we call no bueno. Like, sure, you're losing all your buildings. Sure, it's a lot of zealots in your base. You know, this is where you try to find the positive things. Where it's like, well, at least I'm still breathing. I could have cancer, and I don't think I have cancer. I mean, I guess I don't know for sure. I haven't had anyone check lately. But, you know, that's good. I don't... You know, I have mules, so the fact that I'm down to 22 workers, not the worst. I could be, you know, Zerg with 22 workers. That could be bad. And then you kind of run out of positives, unfortunately, but... It died for a little bit. Oh god, no, it's making the double V. Alright, don't worry about it. Don't worry, we're back. We just dropped some frames. You know. We're dropping the frames like Kendrick drops fat beats. These rocks get to live for a little bit. These ice get to live for a little bit longer. This is not rocks. This is just ice. So yeah, you know, considering this has ice in its name, it's probably going to be a CTL admin someday, so thankfully Wizard of Oz decides to let it live, making sure the CTL has admins for the future. Yeah, basically in earlier stream tests, I was having this stream drops, which is why we were a little delayed in getting up here, but oh, very nice Widow Mine shot is going to kill a Phoenix and basically bruise the rest of these Phoenixes away. Does get the revelation off still, but there is a rather large literal minefield. But yeah, you know, I was having a couple of frame drops, so I think I fixed it. You know, I reset my internet, I reset my computer, all that stuff. I pressed the update information button for Craig. Blame Twitch. And I would be playing Gwent right now if it weren't for the fact that the most recent update kind of fucked Gwent a little bit. I'll even press update information again. Oh, that probe is no longer here, but he did leave a nice little pylon over here, so very cutely done by him. And this pylon's actually good because it does scout the drops if you are too cheap to buy observers. We actually have a fleet beacon coming out now. Alright, so the carrier meme... It's funny, because carriers literally were just like a meme. Where it's like, haha, it's funny, he's building carriers, what a great meme. And then the meme got overused, and now everyone's kind of tired of seeing it. Man, this is a scary Protoss army. Like, there's Colossi in here, there's High Templar in here, there's Zealots in here, there's Sentries in here, there's some Stalkers in here, I guess, if I'm being polite. So yeah, Seeker will push out with his very revelated army. Unfortunately, he really doesn't have a way to deal with the revelation as long as Wizard of Oz controls the Oracle well. Seeker does get the scan off and sees the Dharmi coming for him and turns back, knowing full well that whatever this is, he wants no fucking part of it. I mean, he really has to be careful because he really only has 1-1 to Wizard of Oz's 3-2, and that's no bueno, especially with Colossi out. You really want to make sure that those Colossi are not going to just beat the shit out of your units, and they will if they get the chance. Alright, so that tank shot does kill a good bit of mine damage. 2 really large mine shots hitting those Phoenixes, taking out 2 of them. The Oracle still lives on to be annoying yet another day. We do see him move out from Wizard of Oz as he adds on some Tempests. So Wizard of Oz has decided that memes are not funny, and he wants to build Tempests instead. He's on to the new meme. He is past We Are Number 1. He is going on to the next brighter pasture. Yeah, as you're saying in chat, Furcrack, very safe. Very, very safe, patient gameplay here from Wizard of Oz. Ensuring that Seeker cannot win this game eventually. So Oracle will fly in here, get a revelation on all of those Widow Mines. Very nicely done. But he does miss the double drop coming his way. So there's 1 drop there, 1 drop there. So this could really kind of be Seeker's ticket back into this game. He really has to do some damage because, you know, the longer this game goes... Alright, this double drop gets killed. Alright, so it's only a single drop now. Alright. The longer this game goes, like, the more Wizard of Oz's economy is just going to kind of sustain him. Actually, what happened to that other drop? Did he just say screw it, or did it die? I'm going to guess it died. Because, honestly, with the way this game's been going for Seeker, that's kind of what I would expect. Oh, that Oracle is going to finally die to that mine shot. That mine finally tired of its shit. And we do see another Oracle in production, as well as another Tempest. So this is double Stargate. Ah, there's that drop. It's hanging out over there. That Marine will go over and find that, yes, death does approach, and he will try to burrow these mines, but they're all revelated. Does force this Zealot force to run back. Now we see the Colossi kind of in danger from these Vikings. Seeker trying to bait out a charge forward from the Zealots, but Zealots are not going anywhere. Good EMP on top of the High Templar and other stuff. Good Storm, not really, but I'm being polite. Does hit a couple Widow Mines with it. And yeah, will we see an engage? Both players kind of dancing around the fact right now. And finally, it looks like we will finally just see a charge forward here. Widow Mine shot going off, but great Storms. On top of all the bio, Widow Mine shot doing what it can, but I just think there's not enough bio here for Seeker. He is stimming, trying to stay alive. He does have a tank in the back. These 2 High Templar are pushing forward a little dangerously, but at the end of the day, there's still a lot of the high-tech units left over for Wizard of Oz. I mean, these 2 mine shots might be able to pull off some crazy shenanigans. If, like, Wizard of Oz doesn't know they're here, I think they'll just end up killing another Oracle, unfortunately, instead. But, I mean, we'll see. Actually, these 2 mine shots are going to go off and kill off what's left of the Stalkers, even hitting the Colossi. And yeah, the Oracle will get shot down by Vikings. This is a no-fly zone. That goes both ways, unfortunately, for that Viking. The other one's just like, yeah, dude, you got this. I'll be here. So yeah, Seeker's in trouble, because Wizard of Oz can afford to lose these units, and also didn't lose, like, the big boy units, while Seeker lost the big boy units. And we just see more and more Zealots coming in, which is just free. Like, this means nothing to Wizard of Oz. He's got 3,600 more minerals to spend. He's more than willing. He's even pylon blocking these expansions to ensure that, like, Seeker's just having the hardest time possible left in this game. And yeah, like, Wizard of Oz playing a little safe, but you know, when you got a CTL match on the line, you might as well ensure that you win. I mean, maybe this is a little, you know, this is like getting a massive life insurance policy at the age of like 25, but you know, at least if you die, it'll be great. It'll be a fine thing. Seeker is going to try to take this base because he really needs to get something. He's not mining from most of his base locations, really. Like, this is gone, and now this is going to be gone. As Wizard of Oz does see it, And we'll basically just walk in there. One Oracle gets the Revelation off, the other Oracle gets killed. Ghost tried to get an EMP off, but I'm pretty sure that Ghost got nothing off before it died. And that expansion dying is not something Seeker can afford right now. He's trying to stay in this game, but everything is just against him. He's losing even like small amounts of Marines. He's got a good concave here, but Wizard of Oz has no reason to engage. He has such long-range units with these Templar and these Colossi. Viking's moving forward now, and like he's trying to do what he can here, but it looks like Seeker is just going to lose what's left of his army, unfortunately. Stims forward, but this is like 6 Colossi left over, and a whole lot of nothing else left over. And Seeker is going to be forced to tap out of this game. GG, well played. And Wizard of Oz will take it for Born Gosu. And if I remember correctly, that is the last request, which means the request cast is officially dead. Forever. Maybe not forever. We'll see. I liked the idea, but it has a couple of problems. So we're going to go back to full series for now. I want to shout out to Blizzard because I really wanted to buy the Nathanius Announcer Pack enough to break my cast. So thanks. So if you don't care about the request cast, but you did want to see Daily Life Firstborn Gosu, now's the time to go get all those people and tell them to come watch my stream. Because we are going to head right on into it. We do have a couple of notes. The first note... Oh my god. Sorry. Alright, couple of notes. First of all, I don't have one of the replays from Treetop Versailles. Born Gosu's Treetop was finally taken out by Sai, but we can't watch that game because I don't have the replay. Sai, I'm assuming, since he's new, does not know about the replay submittal process. So if you want to slide into my DMs and send me that replay over Discord real quick, you should do that. Or if you don't, whatever. I'll just mark it down as a win for... I have to think, for Daily Life. Also of note is, unfortunately, Robotic was unable to play this week for whatever reason. And so he was, in fact, walked over in favor of Born Gosu. So we are starting from a 1-1 lead here. Thank you, Furkrag. We got top men on it. We got top men. Spawning in the bottom left of Sequencer Ellie as the blue Protoss, it will be Cyril. And in the top right, spawning as the purple Protoss, it'll be Born Gosu's Hunter! I love all caps names. I feel like they become less frequent the higher league you become. Alright, so Hunter going with a very fast double gas. This could mean things, or it could mean nothing. He's also blocked off his ramp, which means that hopefully he wasn't planning on going out that way anytime soon with any of his units. And I'm actually pretty sure he can't actually get out of there without taking out a gateway. So hopefully he wasn't needing to. Meanwhile, we see a similar wall off from Cyril. The one advantage is that he can just kill the pylon to leave. I did have... I'll never forget the awkward game I played where it was a PvP, and I did like the standard like pylon gateway wall, so that, you know, there was like a pylon's worth of room left over, and my opponent just kind of put a pylon in there, and I just sat there in my base for a bit, waiting to expand, because I was going 19 Nexus. That was a sad... I've never made that mistake again. Alright, so we do see double Adept from Hunter. He's on this side of the map. We do see double Stalker from Cyril, so the more defensive opening will go his way. He also has this hole here, so I guess I'm just an idiot. Alright. Thank you, Furkrag. I don't know if we have to be friends for that, but go ahead and just shoot it my way, buddy. Much love. I did look in the week 4 folder. I did not see it. I still don't see it. I will reload, because I do have 2 monitors. So yeah, kind of... Oh, here we go. Here's some stuff happening. There's a gateway and a robotics facility over here. He doesn't need to get out of his base anytime soon, because he's cheesing. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Cheese every day. Cheese is an important part of everyone's diet. Alright, well these 2 adepts actually will just kind of sneak in here. This is a little unfortunate for Cyril. His stalkers are moving across the map. He does have 1 stalker out now, but until then, these adepts will have free reign, just kind of picking off probe after probe. And this is a very good start for Born Gosu's Hunter here. Now these stalkers are back, though. These adepts will try to shade out. One of them will succeed. But until then, this will be forced back. But we do have a proxy to Mortal coming, which is very scary. Gateway finishing up, or Warp Gate finishing up as well. So this cheese should be a coming. You'll see it develop here. It will be 2 adepts and a stalker. Cyril has no idea this is coming. He's trying to get his expansion up, but he's kind of in deep shit, honestly. Like, this is a very scary amount of units here from Hunter. We will see. I think he's kind of waiting a little bit. You could probably just go forward with the first Immortal, but I don't think it's going to matter. Like, Cyril really just doesn't have enough to deal with this. Yeah, here we go. He's even moving out. That is really unfortunate. Because here just comes death. Wills just starts shooting away at these buildings. I don't think there's even a mothership. Yeah, there's no mothership core defense. He has charge researched, but, like, charging going to help you with this. It looks like he's just going to go for the base trade, which is kind of not the worst idea. And I actually really like this Dark Shrine. This is actually... If this can somehow finish before he dies, this Dark Shrine is actually an amazing idea. I don't know if it will finish before he dies, but if it can, if he could force field the ramp, he needs to get down there and force field that ramp now, like before he loses these gateways, because they are about to be unpowered. Alright, so one of them is unpowered. He does still have 2, and thankfully it is spread out well enough. If he can get a single Dark Templar out, he will actually be in okay shape. The 2 of the gateways of Hunter are unpowered. We have a very weird base trade here. Cyril trying to break into the base, trying to get just some time. He's not gonna have the supply needed to warp in these DTs needed, because otherwise, without the DTs, he's kind of dead. And he really needs this gateway to live before his DT shrine finishes, and that's not gonna happen. GG from Cyril. I like the idea, but unfortunately for him, just... Oh man, that is an actual shame. I actually think that is one of those times where you make the best play possible in that situation and it just doesn't work out for you. What a shame. So you'll get to log back in again. You know, for a crack, you can always buy another keyboard. Alright, thank you for looking into that for me. I will continue on. Can I delete replays from this? Oh yeah, let's get these out of here. Don't want you. Don't want you. Just get this nice and clean. As mentioned earlier, set 2 was a walkover. So we will move on into Game 3. Technically the score will be 2-0 Born Gosu for now. If the replay does not show up, it will be 2-1, but we will unjump the gun on that. I pressed the wrong hotkey again, boys. Alright. Nice meme. Spawning in the top right. Playing for D-Life. He's in the chat maybe, and if he's not, then what the fuck, man? It's Marine. And the bottom left, with the most annoying name possible, it's AKA. Unless it's like Aka, in which case it's not that annoying. But like, oh, I slowed down the replay, didn't I? Whoops. Whatever. You caught it early, at least. So like, naming yourself Aka is cool. Naming yourself AKA is like, it's, if it wasn't like a term used to describe aliases that players use, I wouldn't hate it, but it is. So, I'm very judgmental when it comes to names. Like, it's important to choose a good name. Like, Marine, 7 out of 10. You know, it's solid. It's a StarCraft unit. You know, it's a good thing to go by. The late GLHF, always a very strategical play. You know, it's a solid thing to go by. Like, Treetop thankfully fixed his name because it was terrible, and now it's amazing. Furkrag, great name, right? Like, 9 out of 10. I don't know what a 10 out of 10 name would be, frankly, but like, Furkrag, 9 out of 10 name. It's like, it bounces well. You know, that's an important piece. It's got like a good balance of letters, so like it's like, you know, you never feel like you're saying things too much, but they're kind of related anyway. You got like the double R thing going, and AKA might be doing that thing I like to do, which is where I'm gonna totally pylon block my opponent's base, and then I realize he's Terran and doesn't give a shit, so I kind of just don't. So yeah, I'm not really sure what Marine's doing. He kind of just build this command center wherever he feels like. It's not like this probe will stop him or block him from doing so. See, that's even better because it's like Nordic / European-ish. I'm assuming you got rid of that because nobody pronounced it correctly. That's fine. Or maybe it was just stupid and you didn't, and you just thought maybe that 2 A's were stupid. I don't know. I won't judge you. You can do you, man. You know, this is a judgment-free cast except on names. So yeah, that expansion of Marine does get delayed a pretty good bit. Little unfortunate. So we do see this Reaper going over. Not entirely sure what you mean by that, to be honest, but I'm sure you'll explain it as this Reaper shoots away at this pylon. No Adept out yet. There's no Chrono Boost on it, which is a little unfortunate, because if Marine was paying attention, he could kind of just kill as many probes as he felt like. Now the Mothership Core is out, and this Reaper will get blasted to shit and back. Little unfortunate for him. Such is life. Yeah, you know, if he had just killed that pylon, he wouldn't have died like that, because the Mothership couldn't have overcharged it. Mistakes. You know, you look back on them. It's unfortunate. We do have a Stargate going down now, which will be the tech of choice. Stargate, really interesting in low-level play. Because you can kind of just die to Stargate if you don't get Widow Mines fast enough. So hopefully Marine will build a couple of Widow Mines and not die to an Oracle. And if not, maybe he just dies to an Oracle. I think that's the one bad thing about Legacy of the Void, is a lot of these units are kind of unforgiving for lower leagues. You know, like Widow Mines, which were added in HOTS, obviously, but, you know, like the Oracle, which was kind of refined in Legacy of the Void. Just the current playstyle of Legacy of the Void is kind of brutal for low-level players, but, like, I think at higher levels of play, like, I'm not going to say I'm amazing or anything, but I think this game is way more fun than fucking Heart of the Swarm was. I don't know how I feel about it compared to Wings of Liberty, but, like, man, Heart of the Swarm was kind of a drag. Like, playing 2-hour-long games against Mech Terran to just lose is not my idea of a fun night. And I do mean a fun night because I don't really have more than 2 hours to play games or, you know, cast long-ass series. So, you know, I'd rather get more of the games then. Oh, Disruptor is the other unit I was going to talk about for Legacy of the Void, yeah. Like, Disruptors, again, it's just like, all this stuff is brutal if you're, like, gold or platinum and under. Like, as you see, like I'm talking about, like, this Oracle is just doing so much damage. It's already got, like, 8 kills. It is going to die eventually. Oh, actually, no. Very nicely saved by AKA here. Aka is what I'm going to call him for the rest of the cast, whether he likes it or not. As always, following my golden rule, if you're in the chat and you want me to pronounce your name a different way, please correct me. And if you're not, fuck you. If you're not going to watch my shit, you don't get to tell me how to live my life. But if you do watch it, thank you for tuning in. You can tell me whatever you want. And I'll try to accommodate you. So yeah, AKA is kind of in a... or Aka. I literally just said I was going to call him that. Aka's in a pretty good spot right now. That Oracle did the work. He's now got, you know, a very solid worker lead. He's going to have adepts. He's going to go straight to Adept Phoenix. The pretty standard transition out of this. Very clean build. And yeah, Sin Prime. I was trying to dodge your game. And then the schedule worked out so that I pretty much had to cast this series. Because it's the only way to balance out the cast over the next 3 weeks after this. So yeah. You did request it, technically. So, in theory, this works out the best. Alright, well, this Oracle is going to fly back in here. It is going to get no more damage. Nope, we had a bit of a drop there. We're back, we're back. Don't worry. Don't worry, boys. Oh man, he's pushing it with that Oracle. Always fun to watch. Anyway, to round out what I was saying, yeah, you'll see a lot of lower league players who really don't like Legacy of the Void more. So that's why you see Reddit complaining about Legacy of the Void so much. And how it's bad game design. It's bad game design. I wasn't able to pay attention and I lost all my units to a disruptor. Alright, so this is literal Adept Phoenix. Like, I'm pretty sure as long as he doesn't lose the Oracle, it won't technically be only Adept Phoenix, but like this is about as Adept Phoenix as it gets. He's stopped making Adepts, or rather stopped making Phoenixes, and gone into Robo technology, which, I mean, he could kind of just start being aggressive. He's kind of at that point where like you don't really need the Phoenixes to watch for drops anymore, and you can kind of just start like finding Widow Mines and just killing the Terran player if possible. I mean, he could at least pressure this base. There's really just not a whole lot of stuff here for Marine just yet. You do see the Oracle going to fly back in here looking for a Revelation. You should fly a bit more forward, man. Come on. Dude, come on. Come on, what are you waiting for? Alright, he's going to fly and get the Revelation, but this drop is going to fly in. Not quite a drop just yet, just more Marines over here. So, unfortunately for these Phoenixes, they don't get what they want. They will scare away the drop, but killing the drop is always the goal. And did that Oracle die? Let's check. The Oracle died. Ripping pepperonis. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. And as always, the VOD will be posted. So, you know, I will get that link out whenever we're done here. And yeah, so got a bit of a downtime, so let's talk about Defender's Landing. This is a map I don't know if I hate or not, because I've never played a game on it. I have not played a single game on this map. For all I know, this map is amazing. I also like the fact that there's literally just, you know, Solid Snake up here. There's, like, he's literally just up here. Like, that's the joke. Like, it's a box, it's a reptile crate. Get it, guys? So I mean, that's a plus for the map in my book. Because I don't have to play on it, so I can just review it based on stupid shit. I think most players probably have this map vetoed. Like, this is probably the most popular veto in the map pool right now. Like, this, Blood Boil, and either Sequencer or Proxima is probably the three like main, like the three main vetoes. And yeah, I agree. Like, Aka is playing like really well right now. I mean, there's a couple of holes in his game. Like, you know, this Colossus transition's a little awkward. He really doesn't have like the robos. He's having a hard time spending his minerals and like balancing it with his gas because he took these gases kind of late. But yeah, like that's all stuff that like, you know, he's playing almost at a diamond level right here. Whereas Marine is kind of struggling to really come back from that Oracle still. Like that's he lost a lot of workers, and when your worker making ability isn't that good, yeah, it's just kind of rough. And yeah, he's also got like all his tech here at the third level awkwardly. Like he's got both robos here now. And yeah, he's just gonna. He's really having a hard time getting the gas he needs. He really can't even support two robos. I mean, Marine has built up a nice little scary, I hate at a Phoenix Ball. But he really doesn't know about this Colossi switch just yet. And so if he doesn't... oh, now you should know. Okay, well, never mind. That's what I was going to say. We should see probably some more starports thrown down. Or at least some Vikings being made, which, yeah, it'll be that. We'll just make some Vikings. And yeah, I would really like to see, like, Akka just throw down, like, a bunch more gateways. And also take this gas. This gas would be probably pretty nice to have right now. Maybe get, like, charge or something. Just get a bunch of zealots. I mean, he's also, like, about to be capped, so it's not that important. But he has really got to find a way to spend some of these minerals. And we're kind of also at the point where it's kind of nice just to have, like, a bunch of gateways anyway. You know, just so you can remax after a fight. We do see Marine expanding pretty feverishly at this point, trying to get his economy just to match his opponents, and he's on his way to it, but not quite there yet. Akka up to 72 workers, and we will see a push out now. This is like a 3 Colossi push. A lot of scans going off in a lot of places. Not entirely sure where, but we do see 3 Colossi pushing forward, as well as a good number of Phoenix. This is actually a pretty scary army. But, there's a big but, if we get some good Liberator sieges and some good Viking shots on these Colossi, and he doesn't get shaded atop of all of his army that he's not looking at, this could go well. But like right now, these mines need to burrow, like now. Like he needs to burrow these mines now. Oh my god. Oh, Terran players, look away. This is not pretty. Oh man. I hope there's no Terran players watching. That was about as painful. He's kind of A-moving his army a little bit because the Colossi are running away and the Adepts are kind of like sympathetically running away. But yeah, that is going to be game. That is a rough engage right there. Alright, so that will be a 3-0 Born Gosu. Alright, thanks for trying, Furkrag. I appreciate it. I would like to remind any players from D-Life that you should really try to get that replay in if you want credit for that game on your map score. Because I'm assuming you would like that. A lot of players like getting credit for their games. A lot of teams like having credits for their games. So you have the rest of the week. You should yell at your player a lot. Literally, like, call him on Discord, hey, how's it going? And then just scream at him. I think we'd all like to see Treetop dying and just finally killing him one last time for having the name he had. But he did fix it. I have to give him all the credit in the world. Fucking formerly undefeated cunt. Thank you. I guess the replay doesn't exist yet, so whatever. In the top left, spawning for Born Gosu, it will be Sauce King. And spawning in the bottom right, doing 12-11, it is Chimera. And actually, it'll be 12-12, but hey, who's watching? Alright, so this pool is like a 5 seconds, or like 2 seconds late. And that's just slop. Come on, man. Alright, well, this will be one of them shorter games. This will not be... This game won't last very long. Like, okay, so Sauce King is going, 17, or he's going pool gas. So he should, in theory, be able to defend this. As long as he plays really well. He hasn't expanded yet. So he is kind of expecting something or other. Hello, cool beans. Welcome to the streams. Welcome to the cool streams. If you're just joining us, there's some excellent 13-12 action going on with some great cheese. We do see 6 Zerglings will be on the way here from these 3 eggs. And we do see the expansion going down for Sauce King. So if he can hold on to this expansion, this game is essentially probably over. Unless he loses a bunch of workers. If Chimera kills the expansion or a bunch of workers, this game is probably not over. So we will see how much damage this does. It's really, really important to get damage done with this attack. And so we will see how long it takes Sauce King to see these lings. He should see it pretty quickly. He's got some very good Overlord placement right now. Sauce King is a very solid player, and yeah, there we go. He will see these lings. Baneling Nest going down. Honestly, the Baneling Nest is kind of late. He actually had the gas for that a little earlier. I'm not going to call this the best executed 13-12 here from Chimera. But, you know, it is still a 13-12, and it still is very scary. He's going to have a slightly faster speed than his opponent, which... very, very powerful in this matchup, actually. Yeah, we're all ready to watch that game. But thankfully, I think we're going to have a pretty short one here, as Chimera is losing all these lings, just literally getting no units for that. So, like this is going pretty badly for Chimera. Oh, man, even getting those 2 lings surrounded. He's just not getting anything done. He does now have the speed up, which means he can pick and choose his fights, but he's already kind of picked and chose enough fights that aren't very good that he's going to have trouble. Like, his Baneling Nest is finishing, he's making Banes, but at the same time, yeah, he's just going to GG out. That was... no knock on you, Chimera, because I did actually vote for you in All in the Night as MVP voting. I was one of the few people who did not vote for Pursuit. That was a little bit of slop there, my friend. A little bit of slop. I mean, it happens. Oh god, you guys are you guys keep reminding me. Man. Oh, of course the one-time bound keeps working. Well, buckle in, grab a sandwich. I'm not calling it boring, but I will say now is the time to grab some food. That's the time to shit on your teammates. Oh man, something about this map. I don't know what it is. Okay, I didn't mess it up. Alright. Spawning in the bottom right of Abyssal Reef, it will be Sin Prime. And in the top left, spawning for Born Gosu, it is Shine KO. Which I will just call Shine because that's probably how everyone else refers to him. So, this game's long. This game's real long. I got my water at the ready. No, I don't. I'm actually out of water. Goodbye. I'm going to actually die during this game. Alright, bit of disagreement from the players whether or not this game was fun. Always fun. And yeah, this probe's up to stuff. I know what a probe up to stuff is up to. I know what it looks like. Except I just realized that this is actually Sin Prime space and it's not up to anything. It's up to check in for proxies. This is a good boy probe. This is a good boy probe. He's looking, making sure there's no shenaniganry going on. Yeah, Sin Prime mentioning the proxy ghost that he was looking for. Man, I should like get Twitch chat up here so you guys can like not see the game at all while I'm casting. That'd be fun. All right, well, we see a Makarax. We have a Makarax in 2017. It's actually happened. It's a Makarax, boys. I'm actually so happy right now. Oh my god. Bringing back Bringing back the Makarex, working to full effect. Uh. Oh my god, it's the. Oh my god. The Makarex. That's the idea, Furkrag. You don't hide it, but it's closer to your opponent, so you get the faster Reaper out, and it's closer to their base. And, you know, if they don't scout it, because who's going to look for a proxy in the most obvious spot, right? Oh my god. This is literally 2011 StarCraft at its finest. Oh my god, let's just... Let's look at Sin Prime's vision here. As you can see, he's explored most of Abyssal Reef on the bottom here. He is ensured that he will not be in trouble anytime soon. I mean, other than like the Reaper down here. Shoutouts to Sin Prime for having the nice default announcer. Shoutouts for Sin Prime for actually having Reaper walls, which I'm too lazy to look up how to actually do. I really should learn Reaper walls. The problem is, like, on most of the maps this season, they're kind of like either pain, like a complete pain in the ass, or they're just like not feasible. All right, so this probe still on his scouting adventure. He's gonna find this proxy, man. I mean, it could just be like right here or something, but at this point, I'm assuming. I mean, at this point, you'd probably be dead. Don't disagree with me on my stream. Actually, you know what? Yeah, Sin Prime, you're wrong totally. No one will know what you've said. How dare you? How dare you be wrong about that? That thing that you're probably right about. Don't judge me. I'm just too lazy. Like, I'm plat, man. No one can micro Reapers. I'm just gonna try to kill it before it kills me. What if I lose 3 workers to 1 Reaper? I can't make... I wasn't gonna have those 3 workers anyway. As long as I keep making probes, it won't matter. Because I'm hoping my opponent won't keep making probes. This probe, still on adventure. Will not see this medevac coming in with 6 Marines, 1 Widow Mine. We'll head right on into the mineral line here. No reaction just yet from Sin Prime. This mine will burrow. Sin Prime does get away. Gets even the one shot off onto that 1 probe. So well done with the Widow Mine. But losing the Mothership Core, not the best. And alright, or just don't lose it. Very, very cleanly done at the end here. So basically, pretty much as good a defense as you can get. That was very clean. I mean, it's not over just yet. This is going to be, like, annoying, but... Oh, there we go. Now this drop's getting a little bit of damage done. Literally an entire Marine, or an entire probe getting killed off. That'll teach him. This drop will unload over here. This probe slacking off, man. Come on, dude. Game, it's not over yet. You gotta keep working.
Please clap.
Thank you for following, whoever that was. Billy Kirk, thanks for the follow, bud. Much appreciated. Enjoy my memes. Alright, so this drop will come in here, doing a good bit of damage here at the expansion, actually. Like, this is the damage he was looking to get. This is actually like 8 workers or so now. 9, 10, 11, 12 workers from these 5 Marines that got nothing done early on. He does have the 2 Immortals out. One of them is shooting the Nexus, which is not what you want to do with your Immortal. Actually, a Stalker even joining in on this parade, but he does clean up this drop, which is the important thing. I don't think you want to be shooting the Nexus there. Alright, so that was basically a lot of damage. Alright, this probe's back to work. He's gonna find this proxy at this point. Like, at this point, there's not even a proxy to find, but he's gonna find it, goddammit. Here he goes. Oh look, he found the proxy, guys. Oh man, he doesn't even get to the... He doesn't even find it now. can't find it. Oh no. Oh no. Oh god. This is a Greek tragedy. This is a Greek tragedy right here. Alright, very well placed Marine from Shine. We'll scout out this push, which will allow him to get Widow Mines into the right spot. And yeah, stem forward. We'll basically force this back from Sin Prime. Nothing going on. One mine shot goes off. Two mine shots go off. I'm not entirely sure what those actually hit, but Sin Prime will be forced back. Thankfully, he loses very few units, but I just noticed there's a treasure chest here. I literally never noticed this. Man, there's just so much cool shit on this map, man. Really one of the cooler maps. So, Sin Prime going on into Disruptors, doing his best M-canning impression. Which, hey, you know, if you got the control for Disruptors in this matchup, go for it. I actually really like Disruptors in this matchup. If I didn't just, you know, cheese every game, that is. Because fuck Terran, am I right, guys? Alright, so these mines burrowing outside, getting all nice and set up here for Shine. Very standard Terran sort of siege, where you basically are like, well, you can't go here now. Haha, I'm gonna shoot your third with 3 Marines. Shine responding correctly with 2 Adepts, not even respecting this, or Sin Prime rather, not respecting this Shine attack. Get on out of here. Yeah, that's right, you better run. So Shine will swing around this way, actually. These 2 Adepts will scout this as it comes in, but if these mines run in and get a good burrow, we will see. Actually, no reaction yet from Sin Prime. I wonder if he's just going to throw this away. Alright, we do see the 3 mines burrow. Disruptor shot will go out, hitting a good mound bio. Not probably the best disruptor shot, but at this point, the mines are burrowed in such a location that, like, yeah, he's going to just have to give up that third. So very unfortunate for him. I think he could have probably moved his army there to defend it if he wanted to. Here come the Widow Mines. Widow Mines are coming back in. Unfortunately for Shine, Sin Prime did move his army. Good disruptor shot will go off and then be really bad, but good try, good try. Does lose the disruptor in the meantime. Actually a pretty good force field though. Does force the choke in this disruptor shot. Will scare away what's left of the bio, so what could have been a pretty bad situation for Shine and Sin Prime kind of just ended up being okay for both. And he does get all these Widow Mines though, which is very nice, along with a little bit of free bio. I mean, he does kill both the Liberators as well, so he does kind of just force this to be not as effective. He is going to switch over here, go for a drop back where he did all the damage before. See if he can knock this expansion back down to 4 workers. Alright. Sin Prime did not do what I was kind of hoping he did, which is I was kind of hoping you were going to try to defend it with Disruptors without pulling your workers. Always the classic mistake that everyone makes once with Disruptors, probably. This drop will be handled much more cleanly than it was last time. Yeah, still no third just yet for Sin Prime. It'll be interesting to see. He might try to all-in from here. He might just take this third when he gets the chance or gets around to it. So we'll see. I feel like he could have this third by now. Or at least try to take it. There's just 1 Widow Mine chilling there. That 1 Marine chilling, hanging out by the rocks. Rocks are not very good conversation partners, unless you're Dustin Browder, in which case, best friend. Are Dustin Browder memes still funny? I'm not sure. This Phoenix will shoot away at these, will shoot away at these medevacs. Not quite sure if that'll do much, because it's just a hallucination. But it's a good effort. That mine does get cleaned up, so we do see the Nexus going down. And basically, Sin Prime just has to hold on here. If he can not die to this Terran force, he can kind of keep going in this game, obviously. That's the most John Madden thing I've said in a while. We'll shoot those rocks with the Disruptor, takes them out. 3-3 already on the way for Shine compared to the nothing of Sin Prime. A little bit of a lot of rough things going on for Sin Prime. He's getting +1 attack now, but this is some bad beats right now. He does have a good disruptor count, so the upgrades aren't as relevant. But alright, so he's going to push out, heading out. You should not be getting lag. I'm not seeing any frame drops. That might be on Twitch's end then, because I have... Let's check. Yeah, I have no reported frame drops of late. So I'm not sure why FPS drops sometimes. It's really weird. Hopefully we'll get that ironed out. This was kind of a bit of a scare. Oh, very nice disruptor shot. A bit of a scare because I was having a lot of technical issues before the cast, so hopefully we'll get all this ironed out. Plenty of scans going down. Yes, that army is still there. No, it's not going that way. Yes, it is going to shoot this Marauder. Yeah, we should see a setup here from Sin Prime. We do see very... God, man, these disruptor shots are brutal. He's picking off good amounts of bio, but unfortunately he really just can't ever engage. He just doesn't have like the ground force to really stick with a fight unless he picks off enough stuff. And there's also just so many Liberators out. Very beautiful siege up. There's a disruptor shot. Good split. Literally field goals that one. Does not hit the upright. Hits the upright on that one. That second kick is no good and will be not awarded points by the NFL. Alrighty. Ooh, lads, that was a disruptor shot. Alright, we do see a blink down after these medevacs. Unfortunately not able to catch them because medevacs are OP. And we do see an immortal being taken out. And whatever that was, dying in a very bloody, unnecessary fashion. Another disruptor shot will go out, but unfortunately not perfectly chasing down that army, so it will only hit one Marine. But man, these disruptor shots really keeping Sin Prime in this game. Because he really has no edge for the Liberators. And another beautiful disruptor shot, shaving off and almost evening the supply. Sin Prime actually kind of making a comeback here. There is a double drop going this way, and thankfully his army, like a good chunk of his army, is back here, so it's not going to be like, it shouldn't do too much damage. I mean, it will. I mean, his army coming back home is going to run into it, which is a little awkward, but I mean, he's going to clean this up, and that's a very nice cleanup for Sin Prime. So there's still a lot of Liberators out right now, which is kind of like the one thing Sin Prime can't deal with that perfectly. He's got a good Stalker count, but like this is a lot of Liberators. Not the best siege up though. He will get a free one here or two before he blinks out, or doesn't blink out. That's fine. He's controlling the Disruptors. Too many units, I understand. I play Protoss. You do see another Storm going down. Now Storm and Disruptor on top of this. Sin Prime with the caster unit bundle. Only $14.99 from Blizzard by now. Comes with 2 free skins, not available on console. So yeah, this is kind of just a weird game. These Liberators are going to absolutely mow apart these Stalkers. One will blink out, and then they'll just leave. Quite content with what they've found. So the game has now slowed down, and now we're getting everyone's favorite upgrade in the game, which is Liberator range. The fun upgrade, which is known as the time you kind of just lose awkwardly, unless you go Tempest, which is awkward. This Liberator will siege up and shoot away at some Stalkers before dying awkwardly and painfully. We see another move out here from Sin Prime. He does get a Widowmine shot, but mostly just taking off the shields of those units. We will see him push right on in here. Liberator's starting to siege up now, but an immediate Storm on top of him will do a good amount of damage. If only he could get like another Storm on top. Disruptor Ball coming out, Good splits, but still just a pretty solid hit there from Sin Prime. Doing a very good job of just holding on in this game, really, when he was just so far behind early on. As these Liberators siege up, Sin Prime comes right on back in. If he could just get one more Storm on these Liberators, he may just not have the energy. I don't know how many High Templar are in this army. Really only one, and he's out of energy, so that answers that question. Question is answered. I like this 2-tier detection system where if the Widowmine dies, the Marine's like, well, is he going this way or that way? Alright, Widowmine shot goes off. Liberators are back in action, now with range, so, you know, this is part of the game where the Protoss considers how he wants to continue on. Or if he wants to continue on, maybe he's done. It looks like the transition will be double Stargate, which probably most likely means Tempests. It could mean Phoenix or Void Ray. Both are viable, but Tempest is kind of the general better answer, in my opinion. Or you could just stim on Disruptors and focus fire them all down like a man. That's how you play man StarCraft. This base is getting attacked, while meanwhile in the main or in the natural we do see a drop going down. I believe that has gone on to the 3rd. So very nice misdirection by Sin Prime will allow him to take the worker lead here. Now shading onto the 4th. This drop doing actually a ton of damage now. Really evening up all the damage he took earlier. Even going to kill a couple Widow Mines for free. These are hold positioned, unfortunately. So this is the part where making the right decision looks stupid at times. As they just sit there and just kind of get plunked away at. And yeah, it will be Tempest. We do see 2 Void Rays, but a Fleet Beacon is on the way to follow it up. And this will be scouted by Shine as he does scan it. And we'll head on in here. So yeah, it's basically going to come down to how Sin Prime takes this fight. With both Void Rays out now, like, these Liberators are on borrowed time, especially this one. And now we see double Tempest coming out, which, yep. Basically, this is the way you can deal with Liberator range, because without this, you're kind of just in trouble. Getting a nice little free Liberator there, and actually a couple free Liberators. There are some SCVs here to repair, but not the best Liberator siege up. So we will see how... God, fucking Furkrag, man. I was enjoying this cast until I saw that. Alright, well, we just see a stim forward and actually getting a bunch of the tech units. Liberator shot will go off, or Disruptor's shot, yet again, will go off. I think it died pretty much after the explosion went off. So the good news for Shine, Sin Prime is now out of Disruptors. I don't think there's any more Disruptors in this army. Alright, that's good. That's good. He's safe for now. The bad news for Shine is that these Disruptors have done like this much damage. Like, this is mostly Disruptors. Not these, but like these and some of these. That's Disruptors. So yeah, we see Sin Prime just going towards like getting like high enough Tempest count so they can one-shot the ranged Liberators. And yep, very nicely done. Shooting away the hurt one, maybe on accident, maybe on purpose. We'll go with on purpose because this is a manor cast. Yeah, now we see the Viking production started with the new skin. Very nicely done. Now I think about it, I wonder what announcer... We should get some guys in this gas, buddy. Come on. I wonder what announcer Shine has. It's important to find out. I'll wait till he's in a fight next, or one of his units gets hit next time. So we do see 2 bases being taken in sneaky spots. Next time one of his things gets attacked, we'll find out. Alright. Hopefully this Phoenix hallucination will hit something.
Ready to plunder.
Come on, Phoenix hallucination. Just flying up or die to it. Alright, well here we go. Liberators are going to siege up. We'll worry about announcers later. We do have a storm going down on the bio. Stim forward. Very nice storm dodges by Shine. At the end of the day, this is all just a stall tactic to not die. That's what we all want. We do see the Tempest now flying forward, going to plunk away at these Liberators. And we do see another engage here. Very good arc for Shine and very good storm dodges again, but there is plenty of storms left over in this army. We are starting to see Sin Prime beginning to thin out here. Shine has some units left, but he's basically done a good job of thinning out Sin Prime's army. Thankfully, Sin Prime has plenty of minerals banked up so he can kind of rebuild a good bit of this, but at the end of the day, he will be forced to retreat. He does hold on to his Tempest at least, but he does lose basically anything else that isn't some Void Rays. That medevac's gone. That's fucking gone. Get out of here. It's always the worst feeling where it's like, God damn it, I don't have upgrades. You say very late, like, you know, this game doesn't go on for very later. So Shine may have the base advantage. And he does have the income advantage for now, but once Sin Prime kind of establishes this base, that income advantage is going to go away because he is kind of low on workers still. I mean, he could probably afford to make this an orbital by now, but you know, maybe he's on that welfare plan. Maybe he's, you know, trying to make payments on it. Alright, well here we go. Yet another engage in the middle of the map. Viking and Liberator count now a good bit higher, and really not a whole lot on the ground, but a good storm will kind of force this bio army not be able to engage to its fullest. There is another disruptor back, which means Shine can no longer engage this army if he wants to keep all his units alive. Another storm, another good series of storms will go down on that bio. And yeah, we're back to equilibrium with Sin Prime a little bit behind and Shine a little bit ahead, and Sin Prime having disruptors ready to win the game with. Alright, so we do see the planetary now. He was able to pay off the debts on it and be able to really refinance that mortgage. As we do see yet another engage. Let's see this disruptor shot. Not yet going off. Oh, wait, there it is. Unfortunately, Shine basically cheating there. That was some like suspicious ass micro. That was so good. Not so good on the storms, but everything like the disruptor shot micro, he's traded. That's what's happened. He has traded his micro. And basically, yeah, we're just going to see these Archons and these Tempests cleaned up. Well, not the Tempests, now that I think about it, because there's no Marines left. This is awkward. Bunch of Zealots coming in now with charge. Going to deal a good bit of damage with no medevacs here. And well, there's one here, but it's very low energy. There's really no way to heal this damaged bio. And now there is no medevacs left over. Which means that these Tempests are free to just plunk away at whatever they want. Marauders stimming forward, trying to catch these Tempests. Not the best way to shoot Tempests when you can't shoot them, but good effort, good effort. I like the hustle. Now we see +3 weapons about to finish for Sin Prime. I don't believe, yeah, he's only got +2 armor for now, but you know, he doesn't have the most money right now. What he does have has to be spent on remaking his units. I feel like he has some workers somewhere that he doesn't need them. Oh no, he's okay. I forgot he had this base. I forgot how many bases are in this like little cluster right here on the map. Like if you zoom out, there we go. It's like 4. We're gonna watch Shine's camera for a bit, because I want to see if I can figure out what announcer he has. Come on. You could have just typed in the chat by now. And otherwise I'm gonna have to play detective work. Get to hear all these great Terran units being made. Oh, but we have a fight, so screw that. This is basically Charge Lot Archon Tempest Disruptor. Alright. Another okay disruptor shot. Unfortunately for Sin Prime, he made the mistake of having good disruptor shots first. And so now, like, the pretty good ones don't look as impressive. Always make sure you fail a bit first. And now we'll see Shine head towards this base and really kind of pressure this other location, which is where the Stargates are, which is kind of Kind of no bueno for Shine or for Sin Prime if he loses these, because he really does need some disruptors. He has forced his opponent off of Liberators, but he is going to lose basically all of his tech here, including the Fleet Beacon. +3 armor is started, but this is a very awkward position for Shine to sit into. That disruptor shot completely off the mark. Finally an airball. And yeah, now we're seeing Shine stim, and he's going to find all these workers from this 4th location. That's going to be a lot of damage done. And at the end of the day, this bio is just going to kind of get to leave. There is that mine still here since the beginning of the game. He will now burrow. He's like, no, I've been here. I've been here. I was doing stuff. And of course, like any lazy worker, he will die. That's what he gets. We do see it now, a small engagement. Another God, I keep saying Liberator shot. I'm just so used to watching Liberators kill everything. But instead, it is Protoss units that are killing everything. Another nice disruptive shot, taking out about 15 bio units. Very well done. And yeah, now we will see another engagement. The Viking count is getting kind of high now. Another good disruptive shot, killing about 7 bio units or so. Another disruptive shot, not quite on the mark. The second one will find 4 units. Another Storm's dropping on top of everything. This is really good, but the problem is he's running out of things to deal with these Vikings. He does have a good number of Archons on the ground and another good number of Disruptors, but like these Vikings have completely taken control of the air away from him, which means Liberator is now an option for Shine yet again. He also finally has that Ghost Academy that it's somewhere in here. I'll find it. There it is. See, it's right here. It's proxied in his base at like 28 minutes. So there you go. Is that right? Yeah, this barracks is still here. Has Shine actually, or Sin Prime? Okay, he's found the barracks, guys. The Sin Prime has found the Macharax. Alright, well we do see a scan on top of this expansion, which is actually pretty important. Unfortunately, Viking's going to have to land eventually, which is where they are at their okayest. Disruptor shot will kill 3 bio units, and these Vikings will all go down now. That disruptor shot will kill 2 zealots. Not the best, but 2 kills is 2 kills, man. Yeah, you gotta get your kills where you can. This one Marine will shoot away. And basically we've seen the map kind of divided in half. It's a little bit unfair for Sin Prime, the way it's been divided, but, you know, that's the way the world works, right? You know, sometimes your opponent gets both these bases, and you only get one of them. So that's just life. I mean, it's not like this base is even mining. This is kind of just a gas/dumping mules base anyway. This one is also this one's going to be a worker base. Sin Prime now pushing forward. We'll find a bunch of workers, but we'll also find a Terran army. Disruptor shot will go for the army instead of the workers and kill a good number of bio units. I'm just saying, if you kill the workers, man, that's like a cooler highlight. Good storms, though, will take out a good chunk of this bio, and now with the Archons kind of pushing forward, he is going to kind of push back the Terran just for a little bit, but this Disruptor is going to come in here. Now we see another Disruptor shot. I literally have said Disruptor every time I meant Liberator and vice versa. Alright, well, these Liberators going to siege up. Will get sieged under by the Archons, and loves the Storm going down on the bio. Actually, a pretty good fight here from Sin Prime. He just has so much AoE, but he's starting to bleed out a little bit here. He's standing on top of some of the production of the Terran, but eventually he is going to run out of stuff if he keeps fighting like this. He's got to get some warp-ins. He does have a Warp Prism on the way, so eventually he will be able to do that, but in the meantime, we do see 5 Liberators at a time out of the Shine, so he's got to find some way to deal with this army. Yeah, check out Cool Beans' stream so you can watch this 38-minute game from his point of view, because if you didn't like it the first time, maybe you'll like it a second time. Yeah, and then we can watch it from Sin Prime's point of view and just have literally like a... Yeah, let's just keep watching this game. See how many hours we can go. I got time before work. Alright, so this is a planetary, so unfortunately for Shine... Or unfortunately for Sin Prime, this is going to be pretty rough to kill. Good storms on the SCVs will actually kill off a lot of them. But now the Liberators are here, and this base is still alive. He's going to try to kind of fight under this, but no go. Will lose another High Templar at the end there. Middle rough. Thank you for the follow. Why is Dante? I'm assuming that's not our Dante, who has still not come back to the Discord, but thank you for the follow. Well, taking a planetary shot or two, not the best, but we do see the Liberators now. Good storms yet again. Sin Prime really controlling these caster units incredibly well. Like, he's been microing the Disruptors, the Sentries, and the High Templar for a while now. It's been going pretty well for him. We do now see, though, however, he is trying to fight under these Liberators, doing a good job of avoiding the Liberator circles, but he's kind of just starting to bleed out of units. Like, eventually, these Liberators are going to be enough that he's not going to be able to continue this push. Like, he's playing his heart out, and he's actually getting a lot of damage done. But this mine shot actually could be pretty devastating considering the current situation of the economy. He's going to go up the ramp now, shooting away at this bunker containing 2 Marauders. And actually, now this is a little awkward for Shine. Like, Sin Prime is on top of everything with a pretty scary unit comp. He doesn't have the most Stalkers, which means these Liberators are going to basically control this ramp. But there's really not a whole lot he can do about this army just yet. And this has officially just transitioned into a very low econ game. We do now see, however, that these Liberators are going to push back everything, as Sin Prime is forced to leave. And this is a little awkward because really his economy isn't as good as goddamn mules. As are none of ours, buddy. As is no one's. If fucking Venezuela had mules, they would be fucking first world right now. Right, so we will see another challenge yet again in this planetary. I think this is kind of... I don't hate this move, but there's really just... This isn't like the source of the income. Even a medevac there randomly for the hot pickup to get those workers out there. Would have loved to see a feedback just to rub it in. But c'est la vie. We'll have to save that for another cast. Alright, so we will see... He really has got to, like, find some of these other bases. Because while he is engaging the army, like... The army is a symptom of the actual problem, which is that his economy is just not quite as good as Shine's. And a lot of Shine's bases are actually pretty exposed. Good Storm on top of all this bio, as well as Liberators. Getting a good number of kills off. We do see a blink forward now under the Liberators. A little bit of a ballsy blink, to be honest. Kind of taking a lot of damage on those Stalkers. We do now see... Oh, there's a plane flying outside. I don't know if anyone can hear that. That's loud as shit. Anyway, if this cast suddenly ends, I got bombed. But right now, the only bombing is coming from these Storms and from these Liberators, trading units on both sides. But Shine's just starting to kind of pull ahead by a good bit here. Like, Sin Prime just doesn't have the mule economy to keep up with this. Does get a free Liberator. Should get a free... There's the free Liberator to pick up. And now we will see an engagement on top of all this bio. We see the splits from Shine will force this back from Sin Prime because really his only hope is to get really good AoE off. Now we just see a lot of sort of jockeying for position. Both players kind of unable to really find the fight they both want. You know, like they both want their own little fights and neither of them are getting it. We do see a Disruptor Shot go off and completely whiff. We do see a lot of Storms, and this is a very overstimmed army. The medevacs are starting to run low on energy. We see there's a couple of Marauders running forward, being brave boys. Their bravery will be rewarded with some healing from some medevacs. And now we see yet another engagement, but this is a lot of Liberators. Like, I think that actually kind of, like, dropped my FPS a little bit. Like, just all those siege ups at once. Yeah, now here we go. Again, like, this is some really overstimmed bio, but the problem is, like, well, there's so many Liberators here. He's trying to get his Stargates back up, but he's also going to have to rebuild the Fleet Beacon. Which means until then, these Liberators with range are going to completely control the fights. Now we just see an engage on top of this through the Liberator circle. He's going to have to run through it. And now some Storms on top of the bio, but just all the bio is gone. Is going to get 2 medevacs for his trouble, but Shine microing his heart out in these fights. Yeah, now we see just like these liberators have actually completely split the army in two. Very well done by Shine. He's taken such a great position here. Oh boy, I hope the stream isn't going to hell, because this is where the hype shit is happening. This is incredibly unfortunate. Oh, I actually do have Twitch chat on stream. Holy shit, I didn't realize that. I thought I'd never turned that on. Alright, cool. Hopefully that's not super annoying. If it is, let me know. Alright, well, this bio is really overstimmed, but at this point there's really only a couple of High Templar and a Disruptor left, which ends up dying to his own Storm. And I think we're going to just see game from Shine here. He's getting Storms off, he's killed this entire army, but this is kind of what's left. His economy's been pretty devastated by that great play from Shine. He's going to blink under these Liberators, but unfortunately there's more than Liberators under those Liberators. Archons will move forward, but this feels like a dying blow to me, as the last of Shine's or Sin Prime's army will be cleaned up by Shine, and he will tap out in this marathon game. Ooh, lads, that was a 38-minute. That actually was a good game. I will, as much as I was joking, that was a very fun game to watch for 38 minutes. There are much worse 38-minute games to cast. Or if it's Heart of the Swarm, you know, there's like 3-hour games that are much more boring to cast. Also, good job, Blizzard. Way to make 2 HOTS. You know, you're one company and you made 2 HOTS. Alright, well the good news is that we are dropping frames at a very fortunate time. It's a very good time to be dropping frames because we are loading the game. I'm going to go ahead and pause once the game loads just to make sure the frame drop is done. Alright, OBS says we're Gucci. So we will set up the scores and we will head right on into it. In the top left, playing for Born Gosu, it is time for the Master Set. I did nothing. I literally am just going straight into this. Jesus Christ. Alright. In the top left, playing for Born Gosu, it is the Red Master Zerg. It is Narwhal. And in the bottom right, picking the correct color for his name, always an important part of the puzzle, it is Orange Jello from Daily Life. So, the one thing about Daily Life is Daily Life was, I don't want to say one of the worst teams, but they were struggling. The struggle was real for Daily Life. And then they recruited like a bunch of really good Masters players and also some really good other players. But like Daily Life's Masters roster is like stacked. I don't know if it's just always been that way and now they just want to play CTL, but like, man, this is a stacked Masters roster if you've watched All in the Nihilus. Sorry guys, had to readjust myself. Sit in an uncomfortable position. Yeah, last season was super competitive because we also had, don't forget, we had 4 teams 4-4 at the end of the season. So that was interesting. Alright, so we do see the scout out now from Orange Jello. He will scout basically nothing interesting. So we should see basically nothing interesting from him. Should see a nice command center in about now. Now. Okay, there it is. I saw it on the production tab. You know, Sin Prime, you say that, but that ain't a bad Monsters roster to dip into. And also, yeah, apparently you got more recently. Alright, so we do see the Reaper moving across the map to scout. This is a master set, so I have to actually try to cast. No more memes, guys. Joking is done. Everyone is tuned out now that we've watched all the very boring, all the very fun players play. Now we just have to watch actual StarCraft. You see a bunker at the top of the ramp. So yeah, we will see basically just a pretty standard TVZ transition for now. We'll see a factory, we'll see a barracks, we'll see a starport pretty soon here whenever the minerals are around to afford it. Come on, don't make a liar out of me, Orange Jello. Man. No, this is just bad manner. It's your job to make the casters look good. Alright, that's fine. Very kind of quick lair from Narwhal, actually. He is going to try to surround this Reaper, but a very nice juke from Orange Jello. We'll buy this Reaper another day to juke again. And now this Reaper just doing tricks. This is kind of rude, man. He's going to die for his... That was a little bit weird on that circling. Alright, that was a little weird. But we'll move past that. So we do have a Baneling nest going down at the natural. We do have a very fast lair, which means that based on what Furkrag just typed in chat, I have a guess to what Narwhal might be doing here. But we'll see what happens. I don't want to predict too much, because I was wrong about this starport that was later than I expected. Alright, so it is 2 base Muta. Alright, well, I was wrong. I thought this might have been 2 base Ultralisk, but I guess that's reserved for Wagon when he memes during All in the Nidus. We do see these Zerglings now crossing across the map. I'm gonna go ahead and scout out some stuff. We'll go ahead and eat a Widow Mine shot for his troubles. Will he eat 2 Widow Mine shots? No. Very nice on Burrow by Orange Jello to save that shot. I don't think it was necessary, but hey, you know, economy, man. You don't want to hurt your supply depots. They're yours. So yeah, I can't imagine 2 base Muta is going to be that effective against basically the 2 Terran units that are really good against Mutalisks. I mean, technically 3 if you really want to argue that Liberators are still good against Mutalisks. I mean, in theory they are. And we also see a Ling drop, which will get scouted by this Liberator very casually. So this Ling drop should do basically nothing as long as Orange Jello saw it. And also, I don't think Ling drops are that good versus Terran in general. But, you know, maybe he'll kill a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to be one to judge until I see the damage. All right, here we go. These Lings will stream right on into the mineral line, starting hitting away at some of these units here. But looks like they will head right back into this Overlord, as this Overlord will try to bloat away. I think that's the best way to describe this. Meanwhile, this Liberator does get scared away by these... Actually, wow, this Overlord's going to live, maybe. Holy shit, okay. Alright, well, this Liberator is going to die because, unfortunately, this is 2 base Muta from Narwhal. So, man, my vocal cords and thinking ability actually are kind of shot, to be honest. Alright, caster mode. We got this. We do have the 3rd coming up now. We do see the Baneling speed, but we see plenty of mines. I mean, this is kind of the problem with going 2 base Muta versus Terran, is Terran's just going to turtle up really hard. And Terran's not that bad at turtling on 2 bases right now. Especially when you don't have an Overseer with this army. Like, it's going to be so scary to fly anywhere with these Mutas without paying attention to them, because the stuff like that'll happen, and that is just no good. And as he sees, there is no 3rd here. There's really nowhere to approach from. He's trying to find an angle, but it's just so hard at this point. Like, there's missile turrets down. There's even a Widow Mine hidden behind that 3rd. He'll fly it, and he'll find some production, but almost loses a Muta for his troubles for, like, 1 SCV. Like, this is rough. I would like to see, like, almost just a double expand here, because really, like, he has forced Orange Jello into this weird turtle position where he can't necessarily push out for a bit. Like, you know, like maybe you could just take this gold base or something, but we'll see. I'm not one to tell Masters players how to play, for I am plat, and I am only good at talking, for I am washed up nowadays. So it'll be interesting to see where Grimly or rather Narwhal goes with this. There's too many. Man, can't you guys just pick names that are completely different for the most part? I'm not smart enough to differentiate between all of y'all. So Narwhal, it'll be interesting to see how he transitions out of this. It looks like he's just gonna head straight into Lingbane Muta and just kind of stay with what he's got, which is not at all like a bad choice here, I think. I mean, he could go for like a quick Hive Tech if he really wanted to, but I don't even think he really needs to. He's getting some pretty good creep spread as well. We do see a scan now, basically revealing exactly here are the Lings, here are the Blings, here's the Muta. When did it become Ling Bane Muta, by the way? That is something that bothers me, because back in Wings of Liberty it was Ling Bling Muta, and that was a cool name. And all of a sudden it's Ling Bane, man. Times have changed. This Overlord has done his job and will be rewarded with swift death should Orange Jello decide to reward him with such. He will. Goodbye, friend. It's the worst. There's a Baneling holding that Xel'Naga tower. Alright, well, we do see the mines burrowing onto creep as the Baneling that was watching the other Xel'Naga tower, I'm guessing, tries to get a sneaky hit in but fails. And we will start to see the siege from Jello here. So this is the problem with what Grimly's got right now, is it's kind of hard to actually engage this with just like the pure Ling Bane Muta force he has. Like he has to make sure he gets the right fight. He's trying to bait out what mine shots he can, but there's like a lot of mine shots in this army. That one Marine suffering a close call. Yeah, you see he's just trying to bait out what mine shots he can. He's getting a couple here and there, but like again, by the time he gets all these mine shots down, like there's like, there's so many more mines remaining. Yeah, Orange Jello's got himself into a nice little position here. Grimly is researching Burrow as well as getting Infestation. Or an Infestation Pit. So he could go into Hive, and he will have, obviously, the Burrow tech available to him at that point. Or he could just go into Infestors, which is... I'm not going to say... I don't think it's necessarily good against this army comp. That will be a cancelled expansion, but... Do I keep saying Grimly? If I keep saying Grimly, just assume it's Narwhal. I told you guys. My mind is shot. I just casted a 38-minute game between Sin Prime and Shine. I had to remember the players, Steven. I have to go to work after this, man. Like, this is eating up all my time, but it is worth it because I finally got that request cast out of the way from last week. And it's finally dead forever, and I don't have to do it again. As much as I like the idea, it's just not working out. So we'll go back to full series. We got a schedule. We'll make sure every team is casted fairly instead of last time I did it, where I literally think I casted all-ins matches like 3 weeks in a row and never got Born Ghosted once. That was a little unfortunate. But here we go. Disgusting Mind Shot. Actually cleans up most of these mutas. Like, actually, most of these mutas are just dead. Alright. Well, that's probably game. Because with the position that Orange Jello is in now, and like with all the units that... Narwhal, see? I stopped myself. What? Come on, what is this? What is this? Come on. Orange Jello, clean up the slop, my friend. Here we go. We will see the engage on top of all of this. Good links around, but good pickup here from Orange Jello as he picks up all these units and moves them back. Mine Shot, not the best. Ends up doing a lot more friendly fire than anything else, but does save a lot of these bio units. And now we do see Narwhal. God, I keep wanting to say it. I'll explain why I keep wanting to say Grimly later, but like Narwhal is trying to sustain himself, but like he just doesn't have the larva at this point. Like he's getting this hive tech, but he just doesn't have enough larva to keep making this Ling Bane. And this is kind of the one problem with Ling Bane, is you're eventually just going to kind of not have the larva for it. Now we see just trying to get a good fight going here, but those Mutalisks are going to gun down, and GG, Orange Jello will take game 1 of this Masters set. So, as you may or may not know, I spent a little bit of my recent spare time making an ELO program, just for fun, because I do coding for school and I will do programming whenever I graduate. And I had to fix it like 30 times, and Grimly played a lot of games in All in the Nidus. So I kept typing his name over and over again. So it's all I can think about. Him, Luneth, and Ice. Literally just play like 50 games between the three of them, pretty much. Alright, we will load into game 2 of our master set. It will be on Odyssey. This map shares the name with this upcoming Super Mario Odyssey, of course. Most interesting feature about this map. Alright, so 5-2, there we go. Spawning in the top left. Down 1 game, let's see if you can bring it back in this master set. It is Narwhal. And in the bottom right, spawning in the orange, of course, it is Orange Jello. Who's spamming? Who's spamming? What's spam? What are you talking about? Get out of here. Get out of here with your nonsense. Alright, so... Oh yeah, no, you gotta get that APM up at the beginning of the game, man. Otherwise, how... See, you have to build it up early, so as the game goes on, like, your average is boosted by a little bit. That's actually the reason you have to do it. People say the stuff about warming up and stuff, but nah. Like, you gotta make sure that your APM is, like, super high on average. And see, like, when you're plat like I am, you gotta, like, get it early. Because you ain't getting the APM going as the game goes on. There's too much stuff going on. So we have too much stuff going on. We have three barracks on the other side of the map. So this is awkward. This is a 3 Rax Reaper, most likely, from Orange Jello. Actually, it's probably just... Yeah, it's going to be Marines. There's no gas yet, so cannot be Reapers. Grimly has gone pool first before his hatchery, thankfully, so he may not just die to this. But he's definitely going to... This is going to hurt a bit. This isn't going to feel good. Even a 4th barracks going down here, along with the supply depot. This is an infamous build. It's copied straight from Brood War, the good old BBBS, where you build your barracks, and supply depot in the middle of the map. And this SCV, very impatient. Needs to take a chill pill. I guess this supply depot is too good to be built in the middle of the map by a non-mining SCV. And will be spent, a mining SCV will be spent on it, but... Splitting hairs, you know? I mean, this is going to be a pretty rough push for Narwhal to hold. Like, this is actually a lot of stuff. His lings are across the map right now. Marines will come on in here. Orange Shell will see that there is no workers at this expansion. And we'll head right into the main, but there's already a Roach Warren down for Narwhal. So, Narwhal thankfully is also cheesing, which is the best counter to cheese. This Spine Crawler, not going to happen. But there are 2 Roaches out now, and now we will see workers v Marines versus Roaches versus Queen even. And yeah, this will actually be handled pretty well by Narwhal. I have to be careful. I don't want to say Grimly nor Orange Jello here. So, thankfully Narwhal is Roach rushing, which means he kind of just has units. Ironically enough, Orange Jello actually has the better economy right now, so in theory, if he wants to keep playing this game, like, he could just keep it up. Like, it's not going that badly for him. He has more workers. He can just start making workers now. Holy smokes. I was really... You normally don't say holy smokes without saying something after it. Alright, so we do see a transfuse on this Roach. I mean, this many Roaches and this many Queens versus this many Marines. Not a pretty sight. Oh, the Lings were in his base. Okay. Well, they didn't get there till the end of the game, so I feel vindicated. As viewers just continue to leave as this cast just gets worse and worse. Don't worry, I'll get a co-caster for next week. Unfortunately, both Iced and Seeker were unavailable for tonight. So I had to do this entire long-ass cast by myself and keep logging in between games. So next week, I bet you the cast will still be good. But for this week, you're going to have to deal with me. Thank you for following the two people that did follow tonight. Furkreg, you can't offer to co-cast on the last game. Man, maybe you can. This game is long, too. God damn it. Alright, we got this. Let's go. Will be the final game of this master set. Are you actually from... I want to say that flag that I remember seeing next to your name was Argentina. I'm probably wrong on that. I gotta look it up. It's alright. Nobody cares about, nobody cares about StarCraft. I'll give you a hint, both players are going to do pretty macro openings, probably. Oh, shit, I was right. It was the Argentina flag. Okay, good. I was worrying. I was pretty sure I knew my flags. Alright, cool. There you go. Alright, in the top left, now that we've killed enough time looking and learning about flags, spawning as the Orange Terran, yet again, it is Orange Jello. And that is the wrong number. In the bottom right, spawning as the Red Zerg, it is Narwhal. So we do see another pool first from Narwhal. Meanwhile, Orange Jello building his barracks in his base this time. Very wise decision, considering last time it did not work out for him very well. So we will see if Narwhal decides to go for that Roach Rush again. This is basically the same build, except there's no gas behind it, so I would assume not. Gas is going down now. We do see the SCV now scouting across the map. GLHF, my dude. Always politeness, always required. I don't like doing the emoticons. I'm just too lazy to add the parentheses. I gotta hit shift for that, man. It's over there. I could, click on it, but even then, I ain't got time to click on that. The only option is pasting it in, and I got other stuff to paste. Okay, there was... Oh, Narwhal was the one late on the GLHF. Man, that is... You can't be that rude. I feel like this is almost a fake Roach Rush. Okay, there's the other two guys in gas. Okay. This might be real. I don't know. I feel like that's a low number of guys in gas, but I was not one to cheese when I did play Zerg, so... I have to admit that I'm not the most familiar with it. That one Roach probably signified... Yeah, okay, this is Roach Rush, alright. This Reaper will walk in here. One more jump in there, I suppose. See if we'll see a grenade thrown under this queen. Nope, thrown at the queen, which the queen will walk into like an idiot. What a fool. Now we see roaches starting to pop out, along with a couple drones even, so... We also see some Lings poking away at the SCV building this command center. We see Narwhal forced to move to his side, unfortunately, but he will delay this command center building by quite a bit. Until another worker gets down here. And these two Marines also have to get down here just to clean this up. And now we see these roaches moving across the map right around this timing, as well as a lair being started, so... I'm not really sure where Narwhal's going with this. I don't think these three roaches are going to really do that much. I mean, they may delay the mining that happens with this expansion, but this is a pretty decent investment into three roaches. I mean, if he can, he's going to kill this SCV. If he can force a cancel on the upgrade building and a lift, that'd be nice, but there is a tank out very soon. So I can't imagine Orange Jello will panic and react like that because he is a Masters player. But this Roach Rush is, like I was saying, this Roach Rush is not real. This is This is just 3 roaches. He's doing very macro stuff behind this. But yeah, orbital will finish and then be lifted. Maximum safety, and again, we see 2 base Muta out of Narwhal here, so... Not really sure... I mean, in game 1, it really didn't work out for him. I really don't think he should try it again, but... Hey, you know, maybe it'll work this time. You know, he started off with the Roach Rush, which is a little bit different, does throw his opponent off a little bit, and does kind of actually force out tanks, which is much better for him. So this actually might work out a little better this game. These 3 roaches even get to live too, so that's a nice little boon. Oh man, I keep yawning. I'm so sorry. If you hear me stop casting for a bit, it's because I have to yawn. I did not get much sleep before this cast, unfortunately, but that is alright. I will do a 2-hour cast to make sure that this all gets taken care of. Even though it probably still says I'm playing Gwent, but that's alright. Alright, so 6 Mutalisks popping out now. 3 on each hatchery. We do see this Liberator, unfortunately, stuck in no man's land, sieging up where it cannot hit any drones. This is awkward. Alright. We'll move the circle just a little bit so they can hit a drone or 2. There we go. Queens will head on under here, but we'll be forced to micro away from this Liberator. Not quite perfect, because that Queen does in fact get burned to death. But the Mutalisks are now out. It looks like Narwhal will choose... I keep wanting to say Grimly. It looks like Narwhal will choose to use these Mutas to actually apply pressure of his own, but unfortunately for him, like these Liberators still do a good bit of work back in his base. He's also getting roach speed during all this. So we will see. These Mutas do have to do some damage, I feel like, because they really didn't do much last time. But they are going to fly right on here into the mineral line of Orange Jello and actually starting to do some damage. 3 workers down so far, but he will be forced to leave because of the Marines here. But he actually has enough Mutas that he can fight these Marines head on. There is no stim just yet. He does force a cancel on that, and yeah, you'll see he will just engage these Marines now. Getting very good glaive bounces, well controlled by him. We do see a Widow Mine come out, but immediately picked off out of that factory. But now the amount of Marines is just too damn high. He's going to have to back out. I'm going to take away some workers from him real quick before he leaves. But he will eventually fly on out of here. So yeah, the Muta's going much better for Grimly this game. He's unfortunately bringing all of his Overlords to his opponent's base, which is not where you want them. But the Mutalisks are doing a lot more work than they did last game. Or the first game, rather. Last game was so short, I forgot it happened. So it looks like he's going into like some weird Roach Hydra Ravager Muta style. There is no Hydra Den down yet, but I am assuming that's what it'll be. He does have a 3rd base down now as these Mutas fly into this expansion, but with a missile turret up and with SCVs to repair it, their time here is limited, so they will be forced to leave. 3rd base now finished for Orange Jello, which officially means his 3rd is earlier than Narwhal's. I've finally broken my habit, I think. This Overlord will get gunned down, but if Grimly can pick off... Oh my god. I thought I was doing so well. If Narwhal can pick off this medevac, which he will, very nice pickup from him. He's actually taking a pretty good lead in this game, but he's really got to spend his money a little better. I do like the idea of going Roaches, because in that first game on Blood Boil, he just couldn't really spend the money with the larva of the Ling Bane. Either maybe he's just not familiar with the style and he didn't spend his money well, or what have you. I'm not going to accuse him of being bad or anything. I'm just trying to say, you know, I like this a little bit more because it's allowed him to really take a supply lead here. And even just really using these Mutas way more effectively than he did last game. Like, the missile turret here is trying to do what it can, but like these Mutas are just being absolutely annoying. Really forcing Orange Jello to stay home and not get anything done. You do see 2 mines begin to burrow. Narwhal not challenging here. We see the Roaches actually starting to run in towards the 3rd here. If he was paying attention, he could have actually just killed those Marines and taken the 3rd, but he's busy trying to keep his Mutas alive from this Marine force that is now stimming forward and chasing down these Mutas, picking off a couple Mutas. But now these roaches are kind of stuck in like awkward no man's land. Orange Yellow will scan them and just kind of kill off pretty much all of these actually. Even with roach speed, Stim Marines are faster, so. Just a nice couple of pick-offs there from Orange Yellow will kind of allow him to even the supply a bit. And now we see Burrow Infestation Pit yet again, so I would expect to see Roach Ravager Infester eventually. It looks like the Mutas are kind of done and honestly served their purpose pretty well. This was not a bad Muta investment. You can just see from the worker lead, like he's done pretty well for himself. But now there's a nice push out coming out of here from Orange Jello, so Narwhal is going to have to react to this. He doesn't have the most units right now. Thankfully, this isn't his third location, because if it was, it'd probably be very dead right now. But his creep is going to get shot away at. He's getting what Ravagers he can. Yeah, just getting out a couple, really just to kind of discourage this ramp, and as well as take out the mines in the tank. Mutas will fly past this, looking to kind of find that perfect engage on top of the tank. Meanwhile, Bio just streaming across the map as we see this first Bio Force begin to push forward. Good Bile, but not really accomplishing its desired effect of having him move back into it. And yeah, these Mutas are essentially just waiting for the mine shots to go off and for this tank to sit in an awkward position in the back. Biles go off and will pick off that mine before it can get into a safe spot. And here we go. We do see the engagement now as the Mutas swinging on the back, on and out of that tank, taking it out. A couple Mutas going down, but the Biles will take care of that mine. But now all the Mutas are evaporated into a fine mist of 4 more Mutalisks. So the Mutas are officially gone now. However, plenty of Ravagers out now. No Infestors just yet, which is usually what we see off of this. So a little surprising, but he's got plenty of supply to work with. He's got more workers. He's got plenty more army than his opponent. You know, Narwhal's actually in a pretty good spot this game. Fighting against that on the ramp, while the Marines are skinny, the Ravagers are fat. Still a pretty good arc here for Narwhal, so. I mean, it is just rough going here for Orange Yellow. He can't really find a fight. The one thing he does have economy-wise, or the one thing advantage he does have is economy-wise, he's tight on bases with Narwhal. So, Narwhal does need to take an expansion soon. He's going to go straight into Hive. No Infestors just yet. Good number of Biles will go down and hit that medevac, but unfortunately will not die. And yeah, Orange Yellow just going to hold his position. Narwhal will take his 4th up here for now. But yeah, just kind of a really unfortunate moment for both players, because Narwhal can't really kill this force ever because he doesn't have any way to kill the medevacs. But Orange Yellow, if he commits to a fight, ain't going to win it. So looks like he will just eventually give up this position. And we do finally start seeing some Infestors as Pathogen Glands is being researched, which of course, first Infestors will probably be timed out so that it is they are made right when that upgrade starts to finish. So right now we just kind of see Narwhal is teching up, which means if Orange Jello kind of pushes in here, he might be able to do some good work. He's also double expanding at this time because he really is going to start having his economy dry up here if he's not careful. And he also needs the gas for these Infestors and probably Ultralisk he's going to pick up from this Hive tech. Hive is now finished. We'll see if we see an immediate Greater Spire or Ultralisk Cavern thrown out. But right now, all we see is lots of scans and plenty of roaches. 18 to back up this force from Narwhal. He is now maxed. But that one of those hatcheries will get canceled. Not even a contest on that. And we do see this Bio Army runs up the ramp, tries to split, but no go there. One tank does siege up, but you do see just like there's no way Orange Jello will ever push up this ramp. I have no idea what I think he just killed a creep tumor of his own there on accident. And yeah, it looks like the check of choice will be this Greater Spire as 2 Infestors are being popped out. So the awkward thing now is that this base is not available to you, Orange Jello. You can't have this. You may want it, but it ain't yours. Good number of Biles going down will not kill the tank because they are a little bit off the mark actually, but you just see that eventually this Bio Force from Orange Jello is starting to bleed out. These units from Grimly not that important, and since he doesn't have the high ground vision, this tank is eventually just going to get Biled to death, just like that. Which kind of really ends the real teeth of this siege. Meanwhile, we do see a good number of Roaches actually making their way into this expansion and doing a good job picking off some workers. Unfortunately, there is enough units here that this is going to get cleaned up. Trying to focus down what he can, but you know, he does some good damage. He has actually taken a pretty solid worker lead off of that, but not quite getting there yet. He still actually hasn't landed this command center because of this Overlord yet. Yeah, honestly, Narwhal's in a really good position this game. He's got 3/3 on the way, 3 range. He's got 4 Corruptors coming for Greater Spire. He has a couple Infestors, which are burrowed, waiting to strike. He has this base, which is no longer going to live, but that's all right. You know, you don't need all of them. You just need a couple of them. Man, this base still hasn't landed yet. It was very unfortunate for our orange Jello friend. So yeah, now we see just kind of a weird sort of break in the action. We do see 2 Broodlords being morphed. Unfortunately for Narwhal, he actually kind of has a bit too much supply. He actually kind of needs to throw away some of these Roach Ravagers if he really wants to keep making higher tech units, which he can afford if he so desires. So it looks like Orange Jello will try to sort of posture himself in here. He's got a lot of Marauders now to deal with these Roaches. He will scan NC Infestors, which will force him to run away immediately. Narwhal probably a little unhappy that his Infestor tech has finally been seen. And he throws down 3 hatcheries. Yep, 1 proxy hatch and then 2 expansions. One of these hatcheries will die very soon. And yeah, Narwhal seeing that scan knows that that is a dead hatchery walking and even saves the drone, so very nice optimization here. But now we have Broodlord, Corruptor, Infestor. Like, this is a very disgusting unit composition. But he's actually got to be careful. He's fighting under the Liberators and on the bio, which means that these units are all kind of just running around taking damage without really attacking ever. He needs to get some biles down those Liberators. Finally gets 3 shots off on those Liberators, which is the number of biles you need to kill one. And yeah, meanwhile, we do see a bunch of Roaches running into this expansion, getting some good harass stun. So if he can just hold on here, very good fungals, but does not quite get the biles off that he's looking to get. And with all these tanks and Liberators here, this third force of Narwhal is actually kind of getting evaporated. Like, this looks like a very good fight for him, but he's kind of he's really kind of lost most of the high-tech stuff in that army. He does still have 1 Infestor left. And these Roaches are still doing a good bit of work, especially considering this orbital is burning down and will need to be repaired. Which, yes, it will be. Okay, so he doesn't get that, but still, that did a lot of work. This expansion is finally landed and is now a planetary. So, yeah, kind of rough going here for Narwhal. Like, he needs to get his Ravagers out. Like, because he needs some way to deal with these tanks, but, like, he's kind of let Orange Jello get into a pretty scary position. Like, it's going to be very hard to actually contest this without some Corruptors, which, of course, all his Corruptors are going to become Broodlords at this point anyway. And now we see just more and more siege. We see plenty of biles going down on top of that tank. We'll take it out, which is very important. Because he's basically denying this position here for Orange Jello. We see all that friendly fire damage from the tanks doing plenty of damage to these to this bio through the Broodlings. And now we will see kind of an engage here. Plenty of biles going down. We'll hit a lot of the medevacs, actually. Takes out a good chunk of those. But he really needs to take out these tanks. Finally, an engage, like a direct engage from Narwhal. Even hitting a bunch of just... He's actually taking out a lot of units, but he's not quite getting a direct enough engage, and he doesn't quite have the Ravager biles he needs to really take a fight. So if he can clean up this, yeah, you know, if he can start taking out these Liberators like he's doing, he can eventually kind of take away all the stuff that makes this army. Because if there's just bio left over, what he has will take care of that easily. Like, he's got Infestors, he's got enough Ravagers, like, he's got Broodlords. Actually, it looks like we're going to see a drop here from Orange Jello. I actually kind of like this, because this bio is starting to thin out enough that's going to just kind of be nice to have, like, them in different places so that the advantage of Narwhal can't really take in, which is his splash that he has right now. And now we see a bit of Miss Micro here will cause all these Ravagers to just not get controlled and will just die. No biles going down Narwhal realizing it at the last second, but that's after all of these Ravagers have gone away. Tries to get some Biles down with those Fungals, but I mean, there's just no Fungals left. There's no Ravagers left to fungal with, to bile the Fungal units. One Queen valiantly fighting to defend this base, but there is still a Marauder and a Marine here, and there's also still plenty of Bio here. One Broodlords goes down, the other Crab will die probably pretty shortly as these Liberators unsiege and will eventually shoot away at it. Marines even joining the fray. 7 Roaches coming out now from Narwhal, with plenty of Roaches out, but more and more Bio still streaming in, along with plenty of Liberators, and that will call GG from Narwhal. Orange Jello will take the series, and I will give him back that point. And that will be the week. Whew. Born Gosu did take this week 5-2, as known. You cannot buy gas with minerals. This is an Age of Empires for Greg. Get out of here. Oh man, my finger is actually sore from hitting my push to talk during that game. And I do cast with push to talk, and if you're wondering why, it's because of this chair. Ah, yeah. Wouldn't you love to listen to that all the time? Anyway, that will do it for tonight, finally. If you are still watching and you haven't followed yet, please follow, because I would like to have Twitch affiliate, just for the fuck of it, frankly. But that will end it. I'm going to go to bed, take a quick nap before work. Thank you, Greg, for watching and staying through all of this. I'm sorry you had to watch all 2.5 hours of this, but thanks for sticking around, along with whoever else is here. It does say I have another viewer for now, but we will see you guys next week for Psyx vs. UR, which I will be playing in, so I'll get to cast my own game. But for now, that'll actually end it. Later.